taking it there. I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. To begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
This is fielded at the 7. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10, 5, touchdown, Washington. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. Their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We got two. Do I hit three? Remember, if it's 2 in a row, we'll be hit 3 in a row because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Brady. And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes. And
for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Brady. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Jahan Dotson. 33 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Brady's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. Flushed out right. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick, rolling right and throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it.
He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Washington. Christian Watson, 46 yards. And the Commanders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Now Brady to try again after the pick six.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Now Brady.
He'll hit Mostert again here.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Brady now on first down.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And he's got it inside the 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's first and goal. Here's Walker.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Brady now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
And his kick is indeed good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Now this offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's first and 10.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Jackson. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. Now the... Burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Jackson will throw again. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Four seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The final shot before half for Brady. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, that you see sometimes when they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball. The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
They go play action now. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Able to connect with Dotson. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A huge play there for Washington. 55 yards. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the 1st. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And my goodness, another interception. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They'll go option to the short side. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Jackson running again. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The quarterback run good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Commanders just continue to roll. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young now with his second sack here on opening night. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Brady to throw. And now here's another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Commanders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
4th down, here's Jackson. And that's caught inside the 30. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Saquon Barkley, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. He completes this to Walker. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Looking to throw again on second down. Brady. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. The huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Pitts here. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Play action. It's Jackson. He finds Watson. It's gone. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. On second down, here's Barkley. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is every...
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Getting the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On 3rd down, here's Walker. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Well, partner, tonight was a great way to kick the season off. That before the game, probably as much pomp and circumstance to start a season as I can ever remember. And this is just game 1 of many to come sitting next to you. Really looking forward to it.
As am I. Great to be back in the booth with you for another season.